Hi and welcome to the Ski Club Snowcast.
Well, we are in the mountains this week, but we're not as far away as you might think.
In fact, we're on home turf at Glenshee Ski Area in Scotland, and I have to say the scenery is breathtaking.
Here's what's coming up in this week's Scottish Skiing Special. James Rowden finds out more about the skiing and snowboarding at one of Scotland's other resorts, Cairngorm. We chat to outdoors expert Dave Fels about what other activities are on offer in the Highlands. And we ask British skiers where their favourite place is to ski in Scotland.
Now, with all the recent heavy snowfall falling across the UK, many skiers and snowboarders are making the journey up north to the Scottish ski resorts.
Which is exactly what we did. Now, James Rowden's been out to find out a little more about the skiing here.
Last season was one of the most successful on record for Scotland's ski areas. And Cairngorm Mountain has started this season spectacularly, with around 1.5 metres of snow falling since Christmas. Regulars are describing the conditions as some of the best they have ever seen.
But it isn't always quite like this. The past few years have seen snowfall levels vary widely, and resorts are having to think hard about how they're going to attract future visitors all year round.
Skiing in Scotland has always been challenging, but with those challenges often come great rewards. You know, when you get a wonderful day, it's really as good as anywhere in Europe, we think, on those days. You have to be ready to drop everything and grab it when the opportunity arises, and those often produce the best moments on the Scottish slopes.
And many have been making the most of the conditions. Visitor numbers are up this season. 43,000 have already visited Scottish resorts since the start of the winter.
The cost of taking the family across to Europe was prohibitive, and it's a day up here to give them a taster.
We don't normally come to Scotland, so we've never been before. We've been waiting in traffic since about 8 o'clock this morning, but the powder looks good out there, so I can't wait to give it a go.
For me, it's the ease of getting up here and being able to just, drive from your house in a day and come up and come skiing. And like I said, the variety of runs, there's some amazing backcountry for going touring. There's some really difficult runs, some lovely cruisy runs, and if you get full cover, you could be anywhere in the world really while you're here.
It seems that the Scottish resorts attract a loyal following. And whilst it's hard to predict when the skiing will deliver, there's no doubt the snowfall so far this season has been some of the best for decades.
Now, skiing and snowboarding aren't the only activities on offer out here.
We spoke to Dave Fels from G2 Outdoor in Aviemore about what else you can get up to here in Scotland.
I think you have to say that the real best thing about this area is, first of all, the ease of accessibility, and secondly, the whole variety of things that you can do while you're here. We've got a full range of things. You can see we've got snow down right now, we've got fantastic skiing, we've got fantastic ice climbing, but also in addition to the hardcore stuff, we've got lower level walking in some of the most glorious scenery in Britain. We've got fantastic mountain biking, we've got great kayaking, and so it's just a whole range of things that you can actually take part in here that draws people.
Now, elsewhere in the Alps, the world's best snowboarders will be heading to Lax for the Burton European Open. With $125,000 of prize money up for grabs, the freestyle competitors will be pulling out their best moves in the halfpipe and slopestyle competitions.
The best of the riders will also gain valuable points in this 6-star event, which count towards the overall Swatch TTR snowboard rankings.
Be sure to check out the best of the action on skitv.co.uk soon.
Now, what about the snow in the rest of the world?
Well, here's Ski Club snow reporter Ben Rowley with all the latest snow conditions.
The Austrian resorts of Lech, Zurz and St Anton have had a dusting of 3 centimetres. This freshened up the piste in the ski area, and the upper areas are in good shape. Solden has also benefited this week from a dusting of snow. Meanwhile, over in France, at least 10 centimetres of new snow was reported in all resorts. Alpe d'Huez had 30 centimetres on Wednesday, with further snow expected to land before the weekend. Over in Switzerland, fresh snow blessed a number of resorts this week. Saas-Fee had 15 centimetres of new snow, freshening up both the on- and off-piste snow cover. Gustade and Les Diablerets were also lucky enough to receive a similar amount of snow over the last few days. Across the border, a number of Italian resorts also had fresh snowfall. Courmayeur received 30 centimetres, whilst over in La Tuile 40 centimetres of new snow fell. Both of these resorts are now operating almost all of their lifts, offering great access. Pal Aranzal enjoyed fresh conditions as heavy snow fell across Andorra on Wednesday. Arcalis has most of its lifts open, giving great access to the piste. In Germany, Garmisch reports the deepest snow base with a depth of 180 centimetres on the Zugspitze Glacier. The rest of the country is due to receive fresh snow this week. There is some great news for Bulgaria, as heavy snow fell in Pamparovo and has transformed conditions. Piste depths have doubled and yet more snow is forecast over the next week. The Californian resorts of Heavenly, Squaw Valley and Mammoth are in great shape this week with 30 to 40 centimetres of snow reported. These resorts are also forecast the greatest amount of fresh snow over the coming week, with around 70 to 90 centimetres expected. Skeena Heli area has had the best of Canadian snowfall with 80 centimetres of new snow. Also in BC, Silver Star has had fresh snowfall this week with similar conditions at Big White. On the east coast, Mont St Anne and Tremblant received a dusting of snow, which has freshened up conditions there.
And finally, thanks to all this snow, it's been a popular weekend in the Scottish ski resorts.
But how do you decide where to go? Well, we asked the skiing public which resort is their favourite.
Oh, it's got to be Glenshee. It's only 45 minutes away from my home.
Favourite ski resort's got to be the Cairngorms, just because it was the first resort I skied in and I just loved it from then on.
Glenshee because it's closest to my house. I live in Aberdeen, so it doesn't take long to get here.
Mine's the Nevis Range. I prefer that. I just like more of the runs there, like getting the gondola up, chair lifts. I'm not a fan of the T-bar toes here, so and I quite like all the runs, and the views from the top of the Nevis Range are pretty good, so that's why I like that one.
Oh, it's got to be Cairngorm. I love Cairngorm. I think because I was brought up here. I think more's good. It's got some good backcountry for skiing in. I like Glenshee, but there's always a rivalry between Glenshee and Cairngorm, so we've got to stay with my home hill.
Well, that's just about it for this special programme from Glenshee.
Next week, do join us again when we will be back in the warmth of the studio.
If you have been to Scotland this week, we hope you've enjoyed it as much as we have.
And if not, let these pictures inspire you to make the trip this season. Goodbye.
Bye.